Okay, YouTube, this is going to be Beginner Lesson 0, Part 1, because I was sent a message stating that my beginner lessons were a little too advanced for them. So first off, I want to apologize. I didn't realize I was doing something so advanced, even at a beginner level. I have a really good music teacher. He's a jazz musician, so theory is his bread and butter. For being bread and butter, I mean, it's bread and butter for him. Anyway, before I start rambling, I'm going to go over some terminology and some more basic stuff with my acoustic guitar to help you guys out. First off, naming the parts of the guitar. This is the body. This is the big thing that helps emit the sound. This is the sound hole. Only acoustic guitars should have them. If your electric guitar has a sound hole and it's not an acoustic electric hybrid, you've got problems. This is the bridge. This is where the strings are put through, and this is what keeps them in place when you tune them. This black strip right here is the pick guard. It's to keep your pick from damaging the body of the guitar. These are the strings. This is the neck, headstock, tuning posts, tuning pegs. Those are what you use when you actually thread your strings through and tune them. And this strip of wood that's over the neck is the fretboard. This is what your strings are going to be being played against, as well as these little metal bands, which are frets. This white piece right here is known as the nut. This is what helps keep the strings spaced out evenly and prevents them from slipping when you bend a note. Okay, since we're off with names for now, let's go with naming the strings. From low to high, it's going to be E, A, up here, D, G, B, E. Now, because there are two sets of E strings on a standard tuned guitar, you will hear them referred to as either low E or high E. And that's because, well, one's obviously low, one's higher. And it helps prevent confusion. Like, say, if you just call out 4th fret E to, the guy next to you, it's like, well, which E? He's going to look at you like, well, like, what am I supposed to do? Okay, more terminology. Half steps and whole steps. We'll start off with something really basic like that. A half step with music is that note pushed to the immediate next note. So on a piano, if you were starting on C, you would go to the next white key. You go to the next available key. On a guitar, you move up 1 fret. So on piano, you move up to the next immediate key, regardless of whether it be white or black. Now, a whole step is that done twice. So instead of going from B to C, so B to C is a half step. There is no B sharp or C flat. And certain notes like that, like with B sharp and C flat, those are, well, B to C is a half step. C flat is B natural. B sharp is C natural, because there is no in-between. That's what's known as an inharmonic interval. It's the same sound with, it's just written differently. Think of it like this. It's like capital A and lowercase a. You have capital A, it makes the ah sound half the time. With lowercase a, it looks different, but you still know it makes the same sound. And that's what an inharmonic interval in music is. It's written differently with the same meaning. Okay, so where was I for? Oh yeah, half step and whole step. So half step on a guitar, you move up 1 fret. A whole step, you move up 2. And for the most part, that's what a lot of you beginners are going to be doing. You're going to be practicing whole steps and half steps. If you get anywhere near a minor third, you're probably doing something a little bit more advanced. In which case, bravo for, challenging yourself, even if it's by accident. So I'll just tell you what a minor third is right now. A minor third is a half step plus a whole step. So you're going to be moving 3 frets up. Half step, whole step. Now, with naming notes along the strings, you're going to have E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. The 12th fret, and that's where you have the double dots right here, the double dot inlays. And then usually the inlays are placed on 3, 5, 7, 9, and 12. And if it's on your electric guitar, or in this case this one, it's going to go 15, 17, and usually 19, 21, and then 24. And the reason for that being is the 12th fret is basically a secondary nut. So the whole scale will start over. That's why 13 and 14 are skipped, because 1 and 2 are skipped. And 13 is an F note. 1 is an F note. And that's what's known as an octave. It's the same note sounded either higher or lower. Okay, so E to E. Actually, that was probably, yeah. Sorry, that should have been F to F. That would be E to E. Now you have A. A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, all the way up, continuing in half-step intervals to D all over again, and then the scale starts over at D. And it goes like that for all of the strings, starting on the next note. So once again, it's going to be low E, A, D, G, B, E. And in knowing that, you can relatively tune your guitar to itself by using the 5th fret on E, A, D, and B. G is the only oddball. You have to use the 4th fret to get your B note, because it goes G, G sharp, A sharp, B. Those are both B notes. Okay, I'm going to cut part 1 short, that way I don't go over the time limit, and I'll see you in part 2.